Welcome to episode number 300, where it's my last in the series on the Srotas or channels of the body, and I'm focusing on the channel of the mind, Mano Vaha Srotas, which in fact is not a channel as it permeates the entire body, but the Vedic texts do reference Mano Vaha Srotas, and of course with the current mental health crisis, this is an important Srotas to cover. So please stay tuned. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. This episode is sponsored by Kerala Ayurveda. According to Ayurveda, the health of the mind impacts the overall health of the body and soul. While daily meditation, pranayama, and a sattvic diet can aid in bringing balance to your mind, sometimes a little herbal assistance is needed to help find your inner calm. Kerala Ayurveda offers a full collection of herbal supplements to support mood, reduce the effects of stress, and enhance focus, memory, and clarity. Every herb and formulation is grown and harvested according to Ayurvedic tradition and held to the highest standards for safety. Visit keralaayurveda.us/store to learn more and use the code ELEMENTS10 KA for 10% off your first order. Check out the show notes for all the details. Hey there, and welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. It's Colette for a solo episode, and it's actually my final episode in this series on the Srotas or channels of the body. And in this episode, I'm focusing on the channel of the mind, Mano Vaha Srotas. This channel is not listed as one of the 13 main Srotas or channels of the body, and in fact, it's not a channel as the mind permeates the entire body. However, the Vedic texts do reference Mano Vaha Srotas, and in this episode, we'll see how it's different from the previous channels I've discussed. Also, given the current mental health crisis we're seeing, this is an extremely important Srotas to cover. Now, the root or mula of Mano Vaha Srotas is the heart and the nadis. And the nadis are the subtle energy pathways for each of the five senses. The marga or passage is the entire body, and the mukha or opening are the sense organs of the eyes, ears, tongue, nose, and skin, along with the marma points. Marma points are points on the body where there's a concentration of life energy located, and these are the junction points for the physical and energetic body. Now, if you're not familiar with marma points, check out my episode number 96, where I discussed Ayurveda marma therapy. So that will give you a good insight into marma points. Mano Vaha Srotas is governed by all the subdoshas, as its passage is, as I said, the entire body. The mind is responsible for our perception as it receives an inflow of information from the outside world via the sense organs and transports this information throughout the body, and this results in an outflow via the organs of action, making the mind a dual organ. The functions of the mind include discrimination, communication, thinking, inquiry, feeling, and memory. Now, the signs and symptoms of aggravation of Mano Vaha Srotas are a lack of clarity or confusion, a lack of understanding or poor concentration, misperception, negative thoughts, a lack of direction in life, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD, memory loss, Alzheimer's, and any disorders where sensory perception and the motor organs are affected by an aggravation of Vata, Pitta, or Kapha doshas. Physical disorders can affect the mind where the doshas can aggravate the mental gunas or qualities of Rajas and Tamas. Now, I covered the mental qualities of Rajas, tamas, and sattva in detail in episode number 19 titled Ayurvedic Psychology. But just as a reminder here, Rajas is the energy of momentum, desire, action in the mind. Tamas is the energy of inertia, dullness, and darkness. And sattva is the energy of peace, clarity, and balance in the mind. The causes of aggravation of Mano Vaha Srotas are many and may include foods and activities that aggravate the doshas of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and also aggravate the mental qualities of Rajas and Tamas, resulting in a decline of Sattva quality of balance and clarity. Intense expression of emotions of grief, fear, anger, desire, or envy, obsession with thoughts, and also suppressing thoughts. Both can have a negative impact on Mano Vaha Srotas. So if we're overthinking, overanalyzing, that can affect the channel. And also if we're trying to suppress thoughts or emotions, that too can have a negative impact. Mental injuries or mental trauma, stimulants like drugs, caffeine, or alcohol, aggravated Vata dosha resulting in anxiety, nervousness, and indecisiveness. Aggravated Pitta dosha resulting in anger, jealousy, competitiveness, and overambition. And aggravated Kapha dosha resulting in possessiveness, greed, and inertia. And as I've mentioned throughout this series on the Shrotas of the body, the doshas are traveling through these channels, and therefore a aggravation of the doshas of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha can aggravate the functioning and the structure of the Shrotas. I'm going to jump in here to tell you some very exciting news. I'm finally hosting a Ayurveda rejuvenation retreat in Bali with Dr. Sujata from Amrita Siddhi Ayurvedic Clinic. That's where I worked from 2014 to 2015. And finally, after all these years of talking about it, we're going to do a retreat together. The dates are December 4th to 10th, 2023. It's an all-inclusive retreat. You'll get consultations, Ayurvedic medicines, treatments, Ayurvedic food, and you'll be in this beautiful healing cocoon of Amrita Siddhi Ayurvedic Clinic. You can check out the video and all the details on my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. Just click on the link in the show notes or visit my website and click on the events tab. And I hope to see you in Bali in December. Now remember, the three main causes of disease in Ayurveda are improper use of the senses. So this has a big impact on Mano Vaha Srotas. The sense organs are the opening of Mano Vaha Srotas, and therefore we need to be mindful of what we expose our senses to. The second main cause of disease in Ayurveda is transgression of wisdom, making poor food choices, poor lifestyle choices, living out of tune with the circadian rhythms, with nature. And also the third main cause of disease in Ayurveda is the effect of time. And in this case, with Mano Vaha Srotas, it may be degeneration. Now, treatment of Mano Vaha Srotas, of course, if there's a particular disease or disorder, then this needs to be treated in alignment with the rogi's condition and individual needs. However, Ayurveda does teach us that there are three basic ways to treat and prevent disorders of Mano Vaha Srotas. And the first one is D, which is training the intellect to be used properly and skillfully. The ability to correct judgment and have discriminative power. This includes educating ourselves on our individual constitution and the signs of imbalance, understanding the right food and lifestyle choices for our constitution, having sattvic relationships in our lives, who we surround ourselves with, what we're exposing our senses to, how we're living our life, and where we're focusing our energy. All this has a big impact on the health of Mano Vaha Srotas. The second basic way to treat and prevent disorders of Mano Vaha Srotas is Dharya, which refers to fortitude, the willpower to withstand hardships and to restrain the mind from actions that may be harmful. So promoting sattva and courage in the mind. Practicing mindfulness like meditation and pranayama to cultivate calmness in the body and mind, to create awareness and to build up a buffer to stress. By taking time in our day to sit and watch our thoughts and emotions without judgment, this can really help us to observe what's going on in our mind and also to be aware if there's any emotions showing up that we need to manage, making sure that we're not obsessing about them and making sure that we're not suppressing them, but going through a digestive process of these emotions. By taking this time out every day to just check in on our thoughts, and this could be as little as 5 minutes a day. We're all busy, but taking just 5 minutes, ideally first thing in the morning when things are quiet, maybe before your children wake up, taking some time to sit and be with your thoughts. This will help us build a relationship with our mind to understand our tendencies, and this awareness will help us catch adverse thoughts or negative emotional reactions before they overtake our mental, emotional, and physical body. Of course, spending time in nature to help calm the nervous system with the soothing effect of nature on our senses. And the third basic way to treat and prevent disorders of Mano Vaha Srotas is with Atmadi Vijnanam. And that's the attainment of knowledge and understanding of self-worth. Studying Ayurveda and yoga and how to live in alignment with nature so that we can have the mental clarity and vitality to thrive in life. Implementing the daily dinacharya or self-care practices, taking care of yourself first, cultivating self-worth before you take care of your family or go out into the world to be of service to others. Aligning our body and mind to the circadian rhythm is of paramount importance to our mental and physical health. And I know it can be overwhelming as there's so much taking our energy nowadays and our to-do lists are long and life is busy. But if you need support, I can certainly be of help. I have online services. And in my online consultations, I will help you put together a strategy with a morning and evening routine that's tailored to your life. And of course, looking at your diet, your lifestyle, your self-care, mindfulness practices, your exercise, and really doing a holistic review of what's going on in your life, addressing any current imbalances, and putting together a strategy to help support you. And again, a strategy that you can fit easily into your life, not one that's going to cause extra stress or overwhelm. And I also have the Digestive Reset Cleanse, and that helps to eliminate any accumulation of ama or toxins in the body and the mind, and also to balance the doshas and to promote sattva while resetting the digestive fire. Now, the next group cleanse is October 6th, or you can choose a private cleanse and choose your own dates. Both cleanse structures are the same. They both come with a 90-minute consult. It's just that in the private cleanse, you get to decide your own dates, and I support you privately. In the group cleanse, it's a fixed date and it's group support. I also have educational program, the Daily Habits for Holistic Health program. It's a 28-day online self-paced program. And this is where we talk about the living in tune with the circadian rhythm, implementing the dinacharya, and educating you on how to become your own healer. Now, if you have any questions on my online services, please take advantage of the free 15-minute Services Enquiry Call where we can hop on Zoom and I can answer all of your questions. So there you go. That's my final episode on the series on the Shrotas or channels of the body. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already subscribed or followed the podcast, please do so the new episodes will automatically download for you. And if you would like to rate or review the podcast, I would really appreciate that. That will help spread this wisdom of Ayurveda. And don't forget, Dr. Sujata and I are hosting the 7-day Ayurveda Rejuvenation Retreat, December 4th to 10th in Bali. And it'd be amazing if you could come and join us and the group of like-minded individuals as we enter into a healing cocoon, and you will receive a tailored, all-inclusive retreat just for you. You can check out all the details in the show notes. You can find me on social media under Elements Healing and Wellbeing on Facebook. And my new Instagram channel is the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.